if they are not treating you well, if they are pushing you around, if they're asking too much from you, if you can't deal with them anymore.
Hey, I'm Trav. Back in 2010, I got hit hard with chronic fatigue syndrome, only 6 months after starting my new personal training business. I've spent the last 8 years researching and experimenting with my body to help get back to my best and beyond. I'm now sharing my story and my strategies with you so you can get back to living the life you love.
Hey, Trav here, holistic health and lifestyle coach, helping you make your comeback. Now today, I'm talking about managing stress with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. Now this is really important because stress is really the trigger behind the illness. So as your stress increases, symptoms get worse, you start to feel worse. As your stress decreases, your symptoms start to go down, they start to go away. Some of them can even disappear. So here are 9 ways that you can manage your stress while dealing with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. Firstly, we're going to start out with financial stress. So number 1, you can relax and trust that your money issues will just go away. So this is just having faith that everything will work out. Now, I don't mean when I talk about faith, because faith can be a funny thing. Faith is, some people just put it as blind faith and they're just like, oh yep, everything will work out, and then not actually do anything about it. But faith still requires action on your behalf. So if you trust that something is going to work out, you still need to go and do some work to have that thing potentially work out. If you just expect money to turn up from somewhere, but you don't actually talk to somebody or go and visit somebody or whatever, if you just sit at home, you don't answer the phone, you just sit there on your couch waiting, please money turn up for me, please just turn up, sure it'll all work, it's probably not going to happen. You need to be out in your life. You don't necessarily have to be asking for people for money, but you do need to be out there amongst the people, seeing what's going on, contributing to society. And yeah, you can relax and trust it's going to be okay. Now this may take time to get to. Frankly, I was someone who was completely anxious and stressed about money and everything, and I found that it was harder and harder to get in that state. But the more I was able to relax and just believe that everything was going to be okay, and I mean everything, it's going to be okay, I found that things started to come to me a whole lot easier. I still had to be engaging, I still had to be doing things, I had to be talking to people, helping people, out there in the community, out talking to a friend, picking up the phone and calling a friend, or sending a text, or sending an email, going onto Facebook, going onto Instagram or whatever, and just getting in touch with somebody. Plants a seed. It helps somebody out. You help somebody else, they're probably going to help you out. And things happen. So that's number 1. Number 2, this is a really easy one. Sell something. Ideally, if you can sell something and buy a cheaper version of that thing, if it's an important thing like a house or a car or something of higher value, then that's some way that you can ease some financial stress rather quickly. Now, do you have to be living in a really big house, or is a smaller apartment type thing going to work just as well for you in this situation? You know, maybe you could pull a whole lot of money out that way. Maybe you could buy your recovery back. Maybe you could buy your life back. That takes a huge amount of stress away, because now you know you can actually pay for the recovery you need. You can pay for coaching, you can pay for supplements and medications and treatments and all sorts of different things, and you're actually going to get somewhere. Now, not everyone's going to be in that situation, but hey, is there stuff around your house that you could sell that you don't necessarily need, that you're not using? Do you have a stuffed giraffe that is just sort of, it's there for decoration, but it doesn't really serve a purpose? Could that help you out by selling something? Of course it can. So maybe you could just have a look at your house, see what's around there, sell something. Maybe there's some junk in the shed, in the garage, in a box stuffed at the back of the cupboard that you haven't even looked at for 2 or 3 years. Yeah, maybe you can sell it. Maybe you can pull some money out that way. Certainly helps. Easing financial stress is a big deal, and yeah, selling something certainly makes it easy. So let's go on to stress between people, relationships. So with number 3, think about confronting someone on their behaviour. If they are not treating you well, if they are pushing you around, if they're asking too much from you, if you can't deal with them anymore, confront them about it. You can always say that. Hey, I don't like the way that you talk to me. It really hurts me, or it stresses me out, or like, can you just ease off a little bit? Can we talk about something different? Can we talk about something more positive? Can we avoid talking about this sort of person? Can we avoid talking about gossip? Can we just talk about things that are encouraging? And can we laugh more? You're allowed to have those conversations with anybody you want. Frankly, you can have conversations with whoever you want. And you can not have conversations with people if that's the case. So if you confront this person about their behaviour and really they're not obliging, they're still that same person, maybe they're dragging you down, or an energy vampire that every time you spend time with them it just sucks the life out of you. Well, number 4, avoid spending time with them. I know it might sound harsh. If it's a close friend or a family member, maybe you need to walk away for a while, or maybe you just need to spend less time with them. Maybe instead of seeing them every day, you see them every few days, or once a week, or once a month, or whatever it is. Maybe you're not talking to them on the phone all the time. Maybe you don't always answer their call. Maybe you don't always answer their text or email or whatever. You don't have to. If that's dragging you down, you always have the right to say no and stop. Just step back, look after you. You are the most important one. You've got to manage your stress. Part of that is just saying no and just be like, hey, no, you're stressing me out, so I'm done. Whatever it takes. I know it might be tough, and it might be really, really difficult to actually put that into practice. But hey, in some cases, it has to be done. I've done it, and a lot of my friends have done it. One of the biggest fears people have about, avoiding spending time with other people is they might not have any friends. But what happens is you then, by, pushing somebody away or just distancing yourself from somebody, you make space for a new person to come in. And quite often you'll attract a more positive person to fill that space, and you just be like, oh wow, I just made one of the best friends I could have ever made, and I don't even know how that happened. It's happened to me plenty of times. I'm sure it will happen with you too. Okay, so let's move on to more mental and emotional stresses. So, first one, turn alerts off on your phone. Your phone does not need to be beeping all day. You do not have to have it ringing. You can put it on silent if you want to. That means you're not going to hear all your text messages going off. You don't need to pick it up every couple of minutes and just, it's beeping, 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 just dragging your attention. You don't have to have Facebook alerts. You can turn them off. You don't have to have Instagram alerts, email alerts, all sorts of different things. So many different apps that we have on our phone have these alerts that come up and just say, hey, look at me, hey, look at me, hey, look at me, hey, look at me. That's really stressful because it's constantly in your face. I mean, even the light of the screen is a stress in itself. Having to stop what you're doing and go to something and be distracted for 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes. You completely forget the thing you're doing. Alright, this happens all the time. So turn as many alerts off on your phone as you possibly can. I believe my phone only has alerts now for, noise alerts, for ringing and text messages. And a lot of the time I have it on silent anyway, so I can't even hear them. I'm not always going to be able to get back to somebody straight away because I'm busy. If I'm recording a video, I can't afford to have it going beep, 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 beep. Can't have the phone ringing, okay? I push that aside. I focus on what I'm doing. There's no distraction, less stress. I'm not freaking out about that because that's over there. I don't have to think about it, okay? So, another one is removing phone apps or quitting, reducing social media. If that's something that stresses you out, trying to keep up with everyone on social media, trying to keep posting things because you want whatever, alright, it doesn't have to be done. I've probably spent a couple of years almost off social media, almost doing nothing. Occasionally I'd be on there, I might post something occasionally, but most of the time I'll just completely disengage just to reduce the stress. It was fantastic. And at some stage I'm going to be far more engaged in it, but sometimes you need a break. So this is something that you can do. You can do whatever you like. It doesn't matter about anyone else's expectations. So if a phone app is just something that is like engaging you too much, if you've got a game on there, they're just boom. You're spending so much time in there, and it's just taking that quality time out of your day, and you're spending it in this game, and then you don't have time for being able to do the other things to look after yourself. That's a major stress. Get rid of it. If social media is a stress, get rid of it. Or just leave it on your computer so you can access it that way. There are many ways of making this work, but the more distractions you have on your phone, the more stressful it can be, It's really just a way to get in touch with the world, but it can be overwhelming a lot of the time. Okay, moving on. One thing that is really great is writing a list of all the different stresses that you have in your life, and then trying to think of possible solutions for them. Now, you might write up a whole list, and it could be financial stress, it could be stress with people and relationships, and so many different things. So many different things. This is stressing me out. How could I possibly solve it? Spend a little time thinking about that. Maybe write one or two things. If you're not sure, you can talk to some friends, you can talk to some family members. They might give you some ideas of how that works, because that's really what it's all about. Alright? So number 8 is actually talk to your friends. You're stressed, you're not sure how to deal with something, or you just need to be able to unload. Go and talk to one of your friends. Tell them what you're going through. Half the time they don't know. The thing with a lot of people with chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia is we look just like everybody else. We look like we're healthy, but they can't see that we're like dragging ourselves around. They can't see the pain that you carry every day. They have no idea that your pain level is a 7, 8, 9 out of 10. And you're just putting on this smiley face to do the best you can. They don't even notice. They're too engaged in their own self. Okay? They don't realise that you had to spend 3 hours in bed in the middle of the day just so you could come out tonight for an hour or two, and then you're probably going to pay for it tomorrow. They don't know unless you tell them. So talk to a friend. Tell them what you're going through. Tell them how this thing is it's making life hard for you. Tell them what you're struggling with. Go through that list of stresses with them if possible, and say, hey, or even just one of the things like, I've got this problem. I don't know how to deal with it. I'm not quite sure how to manage it. Have you got any ideas? This is what I've got so far. What do you think? Alright? It's really great ways of making it work. Last one, number 9. Talk to a professional. Now this might mean talking to a therapist of some description. It really doesn't matter. A coach of some description. It could be talking with someone who is a teacher. It could be someone who is a personal trainer or a health therapist, as in like physiotherapist, occupational therapist. It could be anything like that. But you've got this issue, this particular stress, go and talk to a professional about it. Because the professional, they know all about that. They've already got 5, 6, 7 different solutions for you. They can help you. I'm one of those people. I have solutions. I've been through this stuff. And my job is finding solutions to these issues. Not just for myself, but for the other people that I work with. And I've worked with a lot of people throughout the years who have a lot of different issues. So I can go, oh, okay, so you've got this, you've tried this, this, and this, and they didn't work. No worries. Well, we've still got this, 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 and this that we can try. And one of them might work for you. Because this isn't always going to work for you, and this isn't always going to work for you. But this might, and this might. So don't be afraid to ask. If you talk to a professional can really just give you that edge. It's not always expensive, but sometimes it is. But imagine, like, what's the cost of a year of your life? Let's say you don't work for a year. That's a lot of money that you don't earn in that time. That's a lot of fun that you don't have in that time. What's it worth to you? How much is time worth? Are you ever going to get time back? No, it's the one thing that we only have a limited supply of, and we don't know when our time's going to run out. So if you have access to money, you're worth paying for a professional to help pull you out of wherever you are, cut that stress back, get you feeling better again as fast as possible. Because really that's what it's all about. We all want our life back. We all want to be able to live a good life, the life that we want. We want to have vitality when we get out of bed in the morning, and that's not always easy. But, hey, 9 different ways here help you manage your stress. Just start working on one of them. There might be another one that comes up further down the line, or maybe you're going to go and tackle a whole bunch of them at the same time. It really doesn't matter. But you've got to get started. Once you get started, the ball will roll, things will get better. Stress will go down, your quality of life will improve. If you like this and you want more tips like this, you can grab your free cheat sheet from conquerchronicfatigue.com. The link is in the description. You will get answers to the most common questions that I have been asked on how to recover from chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia. Now, this took me years to put together. Tons of research, over $150,000 spent in my own recovery and research courses, all sorts of things to find the answers to these questions. I'm going to give them to you for free because I want to help you get back to your best. So, go make your comeback and we'll talk again soon.